What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva, and knowledge lady Mocha. Represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. So I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to all of my subscribers, my family, my sippers. Appreciate y'all, my A1s from day ones. My new subscribers that have just recently subscribed to my channel, I thank you as well. If it's your first time hearing my content today, and you like what you hear, please make sure that you also subscribe and join the family and hit that notification bell so you will be up to date on any new content that I decide to upload. So, moving right along, thought it was imperative that I spoke on this particular topic. I've been meaning to address it. I just never got around to it. I finally got my day off. So I noticed it wasn't too many sisters that were speaking, obviously, on this particular incident that occurred. And I wish more sisters would start standing up and start putting these other Black women in place when they, do these unclassy, unladylike things that definitely make us look bad as women. And I know unfortunately, we're in a time and era in which so many of us as Black women, we're just so attention starved. There are a lot of attention starved Black women. And it's gotten to a point to where we are willing to do anything to seek attention. It don't matter if it's good attention. It don't seem matter if it's bad attention. Attention is just attention. And it amazes me how far we will go to try to be noticed, to seek validation, to obtain approval. And it's unfortunate that so many Black women are so attention starved, and they're so addicted to attention to the point that we don't even know how to conduct ourselves when it comes to going to a restaurant. Now, before I kind of go into this situation, first of all, I want to start off by saying this. This content is not in reference to all Black women. Only the ones who know need to be addressed about this issue. If it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. Chick rocks will open flip flops. That's how I feel about it. So if you feel some type of way, then maybe because it's you, it's something that you need to work on. But no one is woman enough to let you know that this is something you need to start working on. This is something you need to have to better yourself as a woman in this area. So it is what it is. You can take the content and learn from it and better yourself, or continue being the bitter, pigeon-headed female that you are. It is what it is. So this particular video has gone viral. Like I said, I've been noticing a lot of male content creators that have been addressing this. It hasn't been too many sisters. It's probably been one or two, But I thought it was imperative that I address this. A video has gone viral with a restaurant owner by the name of Mr. Kelly. And basically, he owns a restaurant establishment in Dallas, Texas. And there were 3 tables in his restaurant that had female customers twerking. Okay. Now, keep in mind, this is one of those type of restaurants. It's pretty elegant. It's an elegant Black restaurant establishment. For those of you who haven't been, I haven't been either, but just based on looking at the video, I can tell the atmosphere is very elegant. It's very classy. You have a mixture of customers. You have elderly couples. You can tell it's mostly a Black more of a Black oriented type of restaurant, because the majority of the customers there were Black. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of these Black owned restaurants. A lot of these white folks, they love some good old fashioned Southern, soul food. Because believe it or not, I'm here located in Savannah, Georgia. When I go to these soul food restaurants, let me tell you something. These white folks be just as they support black businesses because you have a lot of white folks who love seasoned food. They love black folks cooking. So even though his establishment is majority of the customers are black, I'm pretty sure he has white customers and probably customers of all cultures who dine in his particular establishment because a lot of different cultures really enjoy soul food. They enjoy that macaroni and cheese, that fried chicken. They really love black people food. Okay, I got some white friends that will go to a black hood restaurant in a minute, okay, and order them some oxtails, some pig feet, some collard greens with them smoked neck bones or smoked pigtails, you name it. Even if you Muslim, you know, you can order the collard greens that don't have no bacon or any type of pork substances in it. So anyway, the point I'm making is that based on what I'm reading, the last young woman decided to stand and one of his booth seats, placing her hands against the glass windows and started twerking on the glass. Restaurant owner stated, "No song played is an excuse to stand on our furniture and do what the lady did. True will be for some and not all, and that is okay." Kelly did not immediately respond to the poster's request or comments right away. He basically read them their rights. He went off on them for the way that they were acting. Um, Butter pecan waffles will not come with a side of bouncing booty cheeks for diners at Dallas Eatery True Kitchen and Cocktails. A dog's degree mandated by owner Kevin Kelly in now viral footage of the angry Sunday afternoon. Oh Lord, it was on a Sunday, so people was coming out of church and everything. Okay, um, of his angry Sunday afternoon anti-twerking address. All this twerking shit, and this is basically what he said, when he went inside the diner area and these thought traps were up here twerking and, doing all this booty jiggling and things of that nature. He basically put them in their place. He said, all this twerking shit, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And apparently incensed, Kelly says, scalding female patrons for standing on the furniture of his establishment and jiggling their junk in the trunk to songs like Megan Thee Stallion's Body and Lil Ronnie's Mother Effing Circle. Okay, that was the music he was playing there. Okay, but let me proceed. Adding an extra dash of flavor to the True's lounge-like ambiance. Both shake inciting tracks, among others, were played by the venue's in-house DJ for the customers' entertainment. Tragically, however, Kelly clearly was not amused. If you want to do it, get the fuck out of my restaurant. The restaurateur continues in his rebuke of the rump shakers for video incident. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. The seriousness in the approach of the booty shaking, Kelly, an African American man, explains his upset, saying he invests a lot of money into buying this building and to developing this concept so black people can have somewhere nice to go. And insists his Twerking is a distasteful representation of the culture. Naturally, the almighty digital delegation is weighing in with mixed opinions on incidents, with one Twitter commentator saying that man really jeopardized his business to scold black women for twerking all because he allowed the DJ to play ass shaking music and others arguing. Y'all wouldn't have been twerking at a white establishment. Since going viral, Kelly against a former statement regarding the issue via social media saying there were three tables that had been spoken to about twerking. They were approached very politely less than 10 minutes before the incident. The last young woman decided standing out booth seats, placing her hands against the glass windows and start twerking on the glass. He ended, "No song played is an excuse to stand on our furniture and do what this lady did. True will be for some and not all, and that is okay." All right, so let me give my commentary on this particular situation. First of all, my opinion is the twerking is just so goddamn overrated. It's just overrated. It is overrated for a lot of underrated assholes. I'm gonna say it. Twerking is overrated for a lot of underrated assholes. Okay, you don't have to agree or like what I'm saying, but I'm going to speak on this. First of all, let me start by saying I don't feel like the owner was out of pocket for addressing the issue. Now, had it been a waiter, okay, probably not so much so. Had it been the hostess, not so much so. But this is the owner of the establishment, meaning that this is his brand. His brand is how his establishment remains to be successful. Your brand is everything. All it takes is one unpleasant experience, and you can lose a good bit of customers. Now, you know, black folks, it don't take much to turn us off. We can go to a restaurant and you mess up on our fried chicken one time. We biting into our fried chicken and we can hear the chicken still clucking because it's not cooked all the way. It's still bleeding. Guess what? We're not going to come back to that restaurant. One negative experience can really have a significant impact on your business. Anybody that's a business owner knows all it takes is just one bad review and it's going to spread like cancer. Mr. Kelly, being the owner of True Kitchen and Cocktails, he had every right. He saw something out of order in his establishment. He had every goddamn right to address it how he see fit. Now, a lot of people felt some type of way because of his delivery. But let's be frank. Let's be frank. If he already stated he went to them politely. When it comes to our people, you can't always be polite. Sometimes you got to get hood, especially when it comes to dealing with hood people. When you're dealing with hood people, you got to speak hood language. There is no, if you ladies do not calm down and stop, doing all that twerking, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Them hood bras wasn't going to respond to that. So guess what? He had to get hood. He basically told them, if you don't like it, you are welcome to get the F out. I don't need your money. Like he said, I invested a lot of money with buying this building. All your ratchet antics is not going to depreciate the value of my establishment. And I can't blame him because do you understand that the majority of his customers are most likely going to be older? We're talking about middle age, maybe 40 and up, definitely going to be senior citizens in there. So he has to protect the ratchetness. He has to protect his brand from the ratchetness because basically the majority of his customers that are paying well, that are most likely tipping the most, let's be frank, it ain't going to be the hood chicks. Hood chicks don't hardly tip like that. All right. His most important customers, and this is not to say that a customer should be less relevant based on how they tip, but the customers that most likely are going to invest the most into his business aren't going to be there twerking. We're talking about middle age, older, senior citizens. These are people who intentionally pick certain restaurants because when you hit a certain age, I don't eat certain places anymore. As I'm older, I'm very funny about where I eat. I'm not going to eat somewhere where there's a lot of young people hanging out. I'm not going to eat at an establishment where there's a lot of little children that are allowed to be there because my patience, the older I'm getting, the shorter my patience is. So I'm very selective about where I eat. I'm very particular about what restaurant I choose to dine in. If I go to a restaurant, honey, and I see a bunch of kids screaming and crying and all of that, I'm not going in. Don't even waste your time trying to seat me somewhere because I'm very funny. I go in a restaurant, I see it's nasty. The tables haven't been cleaned, look like, since breakfast. I'm not going in. So this the owner of this establishment, Mr. Kelly, saw something out of order. And as the owner of that establishment, he had to nip it in the bud right then and there. What a lot of these thought workers are not understanding is that there's a time and a place for certain things. And as I mentioned earlier, this was the restaurant owner who addressed y'all. Now, let's say if it would have been a hostess, let's say it would have been somebody who probably didn't have a bigger title. Even then, they should have respected that as well, because sometimes as a hostess or a waiter, you are held to your supervisor expects you to address certain things that are out of order. But what I'm saying is, I made that point not to make it seem as if it would have been okay if it would have been they could have disregarded it if it would have just been a waiter or a hostess. But what I'm saying is, it's bad if the owner of the establishment had to come and address you. If that wasn't a big red flag that y'all was doing too much, I don't know what was. So as I stated, a lot of people went commenting saying how this man was out of pocket, for his delivery. When you're dealing with hood people, you got to speak hood language. Okay. It's a different way you approach Karen, and it's a different way you approach Keisha. You cannot approach them the same. Okay. So him being a black man, that's the reason why his delivery came off to them so harshly. Because for one, it was coming from a black man. Anytime a black man says anything to a black woman, especially if it's something that she feels is ridiculing her, or she feels like it's something that's belittling her or tearing her down, even if he's saying it without having bad intentions, she's still going to take it for bad, regardless of what. My thing is, these full-grown women are in an establishment. It's common sense that there's a time and a place for certain stuff. Now, if you was a Waffle House in the hood, and the Waffle House in the hood is like only a block or two away from the club, and the majority of the customers there are hood or are hood, and the waiters are hood, the cook is hood, you may can get away with it in that type of establishment. If it's a hood establishment, okay, you may can get away with it. And I hop in the hood. Certain places you can conduct yourself a certain way, nobody won't really notice it. But the type of establishment that place that was not the time in the place. First of all, as a black woman, I wouldn't have felt comfortable in that type of restaurant, knowing that there's couples there, you got married couples there, you have couples there. That's on a Sunday. People most likely just coming from church. You're going to see older people. I know that these thirst twerkers saw all of these older people in that establishment, and that was not enough to make them feel like, what, this ain't the time and the place for me to be doing that. I would have been too embarrassed to even put myself in a predicament where I'm twerking in an establishment where people are trying to eat their food. I don't give a damn if they was playing Luke, I Want to Rock right now. It don't matter what booty music they was playing. Something about black women when it comes to twerk music. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been times I've been places and I heard my song and I would twerk a little bit just in my seat. But you best believe I wasn't getting up, stand on the table. I move around in my seat, do a little something, but not enough obvious to where it looks like I'm trying to get the attention of everybody. I'm not going to come up from up under the table and put my hands on the table and I'm twerking and I'm going at it like a damn vibrator. No, you're not going to see me doing that. I might move a little bit in my seat, but that's as far as it goes. Okay? Because for one, I don't need to embarrass my husband because most of the time when we go places, we're together. He's not even going to allow me to get out of character and do things like that. And then secondly, I don't want nobody YouTubing me with somebody could see my job and I'm going to disgrace my department because people videotape everything these days. What you think is not a big deal, it could hurt your career. It could hurt your job. Something as simple as putting your hands on the table and twerking. So you have to be mindful. But back to the point that I was getting ready to make. Usually, in most cases, women that have no discipline, females, because I don't consider them women, females who lack discipline and thought behavior, they have no discretion. They have no common sense. They don't draw any boundaries. They don't have a line not to cross. Most females that are thoughts, they don't have a line. They lack discretion. They don't take into consideration. This is not the time, this is not the place. Not to mention, I'm sure kids was there. That's another part I forgot to mention. I'm sure kids was there. People had their grandkids, their kids or whatever. I'm assuming, unless it's an establishment that doesn't have kids, but it's a high probability kids was there and seeing them twerk like that. My thing is, you cannot, a thought has no self-control. Those women was females was twerking up in that restaurant because they are thoughts. They straight thoughts. Thoughts don't give a damn where they are. They don't have a time. They don't have a place. They do it. It don't matter. It could be at a funeral. They twerking. They putting their hands on a man casket and they twerking. They could be in a library and twerking. That's just straight thought thirst. Got to constantly be seen. Got to constantly be noticed. No different than I remember a couple of years ago, when this young man was graduating at his graduation, and his big plus size rhinoceros built mother, this baboon, decided to twerk down the aisle, all because her son was graduating. And you will be amazed at how many other sisters was co-signing on that, saying she was just being proud of her son. She was showing her son some love. See, only thoughts will co-sign with other thoughts because a woman of class and substance, she's not even going to sit up there and co-sign on no bullshit like that. It was a couple of sisters in there that was basically like, no, she embarrassed her son. You mean standing up, giving him a standing ovation, and clapping and cheering for him wasn't enough? She literally wobbled her big behind down the aisle and was twerking. Now, this her son graduation day now. You know how many people is at a graduation? You know how many senior citizens? You know how many married couples? This big bust up Wolverine, she ain't had no man with her. So she knew what she was doing when she was twerking down the aisle. It had nothing to do with her being proud of her son. She wanted to take that moment to showcase. She robbed her son. She took his thunder. It was supposed to be about him. She made it about her. And these delusional ass, what I call DBWs, delusional black women, set up there and tried to co-sign and made it seem like everybody was wrong for calling her out on that, when it was a straight embarrassment. See, thoughts could only relate to thoughts. Sluts could only relate to sluts. Jezebels relate to Jezebels. All of that was basically, I'm attention starved. So I'm going to seize the moment. I don't care when, I don't care where. I'm going to seize the moment to turn up so I can have eyes put on me. We have reached a new level of desperation. You have so many black women, so many of us that are just troubled human beings. And we've reached a new point in life to where now our self-esteem is so shattered that We are willing to do anything we can. We are willing to humiliate ourselves by any means possible, just so we can get 15 minutes of fame, only to turn around and not realize that we are putting ourselves in the position to be disrespected. And that's nobody else's fault but ours. We bring it upon ourselves every single time. The twerking hasn't been working. Twerking is not getting us wiped up. We're not getting married. We're not being taken serious. Men are not looking at us for who we truly are inside. They're looking at us for how we present ourselves. You can be a good woman. You can be a woman of value and substance, but just that twerking and all of these other thought shenanigans, it takes away all of your credibility to the point a real man is not even going to want to get to know you for who you truly are. Because presentation is everything. Once you put yourself out there a certain way, nobody cares what the hell you got to offer. And the truth of the matter is, it's gotten to a point to where a lot of us as black women, we don't have nothing else to offer but ass. That's why we use it all the time. That's why we twerking all the time. That's why, we got to drop it like it's hot. A lot of us don't even know how to hold a 5-minute conversation. We don't even know how to hold an intellectual conversation with a real man. A lot of us, we don't know how to do it, but we know how to twerk. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that we do not value our self-worth. Anytime a female is in a certain place, like the females at that restaurant, evidently they were some low common denominator broads. They didn't value themselves like that. They couldn't have. They didn't have any self-worth. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't make plans to go to the club that night? Y'all couldn't make plans to go out and have fun and do that at another time, another place? Why did y'all have to do that at a restaurant? A place full of patrons that are there to enjoy good food, to enjoy good drinks, and hang out with a significant other, hang out with their families. Y'all was so desperate and thirsty for attention. You just had to take it right then and there. You couldn't wait till you got the Sister Girl Tuesday when the ladies get in free before 11 o'clock, drinks half off. You so attention starved, you try to get it in whenever and wherever you can. You're willing to snatch attention any way possible, to the point that you're willing to embarrass yourself to get it. So for a lot of people who've been coming at this man sideways, and for all the sisters who have been co-signing in the comments, y'all boosting, y'all ego boosting these thirst traps and making them think it's acceptable. Y'all coming at this man sideways. Y'all mad with him. When the main ones that's mad with him, y'all won't even tip and leave goddamn $2 on the table. And these will be the main sisters that'll be turning around bitching and complaining and getting in their feelings. So, well, he was wrong for that. He shouldn't have talked. They was grown women. What do you like addressing them like that? Y'all not paying the bills there. And if y'all felt some type of way, if y'all felt embarrassed or whatever, you could leave. Just because you pay your hard-earned money somewhere, that does not mean you have the right to do what you want to do in somebody else's establishment. Even when you pay your money, it's still a certain way you have to conduct yourself. Guess what? Even if I'm tithing in somebody's church, I just can't get up and stand up in the middle of the pastor giving his sermon and I'm talking loud and I'm interrupting his sermon because I feel like, well, I've been going here for 5 years. I tithe every Sunday. Every Sunday I pay my 10%. I can say and do what I want to do. No, you can't. That is not your establishment. You are just a customer. And it amazes me how so many of the other black women who are co-signing on this fuckery shenanigans. Because if y'all think it's acceptable, then guess what? You'll let your daughter do it. You'll let your niece do it. Black women who think it's acceptable, that means you will do the same thing. Because evidently you don't see nothing wrong with it. This is embarrassing that it took another black man to have to tell us, no, y'all not going to do that here. I don't blame them. I'm up here trying to enjoy my fried chicken, my candy yam, my collard greens. I don't want to deal with loudmouth Keisha and Kiki and Giselle. They the next table over. Me and my husband trying to sit there and enjoy our food, and they twerking, they steak section their asses. Stuff like that will make people leave your establishment. Because I'm one. If you got some fuckery going on in your restaurant and you're not addressing it because you're so greedy for a dollar, I'm going to get right on up and I'm walking out. You're not getting my hard-earned money because I go to certain places for a certain reason. Everybody not with the thought traps shenanigans. Twerking is not entertaining unless you're in a goddamn strip club or unless you're in one of them hood clubs. Then that's fine. But in a establishment, a classy establishment, you don't bring trash to class. So for any other sisters out here who have been co-signing on this, sending this man hate comments, talking about you not gonna eat at his restaurant. Well, please don't eat at his restaurant because I want to have my fried chicken, my collard greens, my candy yams, and my macaroni and cheese. I want to have my soul food in peace without some thirst trapping jigaboos coming up in there twerking. All because they want to get my man attention because they can't get no attention, or they want to get the attention of other women's men in there. Because that's really what it boils down to. A lot of these females have allowed Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi to pollute them with this delusional WAP empowerment, making them think that twerking makes them feel empowered. It has really it's a disgrace, and I'm just so tired of attention starved females that are seeking attention like a diabetic seeking insulin. They need attention all of the time. Like I said, even just doing social media, I see some females go so far as they're getting attention. They have to create 2, 3 Facebook pages. Getting attention off of one page ain't enough. I know a female now, she has about 3 Facebook pages. And whenever she wants to post thirst trap photos of herself, she posts them to all 3 of her Facebook pages at the same time. So getting attention off of one page ain't enough. She has to get attention off of 3 pages. And then on top of that, this same particular female had the audacity to DM my old man. She sent my old man a friend request and he showed it to me. And my husband was like, do you know this chick? I said, yeah, I know her from an old job that I used to work at. He was like, well, yeah, I'm just letting you know she tried to DM me. And he went ahead and he blocked her. So it just amazes me. It's gotten to a point now to where women are so insecure that they are willing to try to seek attention from other people's companions. They don't even want attention from single men anymore. That doesn't make them feel validated enough. The female the low self-esteem psyche of the female has become so broken to the point that now they rather seek attention from men that are already spoken for. They don't even want attention from single men. That don't make them feel special enough. It gives them a one up knowing that somebody else's man is interested in them or somebody else's man is desiring them. And the problem is a lot of black women have become so desperate they're not even giving black men the chance to pursue them. They are pursuing the men overly by dressing overly revealing, trying to, you know, overly advertise themselves, making themselves thirst target, hoping that a man will notice them. And crazy part about it is, even if these men were to pursue them or to DM them back, they still don't even really want the man. They just want the man attention. Like to play head games. You got a lot of these black women out here who would dress revealing and do all kind of stuff, wearing tight stuff to get men to notice them. And then when the man pursues them, they'll call a man thirsty, but you setting thirst traps. Soon as the man DMing you and hitting on you, trying to get with you, oh, he being thirsty. He being desperate. Well, you are the one who is advertising your thirst trap. You the one thirst trapping. But then they'll lie and make it seem like, oh, I ain't looking for no man like that. Yes, you are. Anytime you leave the house with pants so tight on your ass that it looks like they've been painted on, you in at restaurant twerking, you know what you're doing. I don't care what kind of music is playing. As a woman, you should have enough of dignity and integrity about yourself to still have some control over how you conduct yourself. It's just ridiculous. And I wish more women would speak on this. They would address this and let sisters know the twerking is not working. Too many underrated hoes that's overrated with attention. It's time for black women to stop overdosing off of attention. Y'all need to detox from attention, like for real. Anyway, I have given my opinion on this. Ladies below, let me know what y'all think about this. Are we as black women, are we taking the twerking too far? Or are we taking it too serious? Maybe some of you sisters out here feel like I'm one of those black women. I'm taking it too serious. A woman should be able to twerk and have fun and have a good time. My thing is, I don't have a problem with that, but at the end of the day, there's a time and a place for it. And an establishment of public place, people got their kids there, they got their grandkids there. It's a respect thing. People got their husbands there. These women, females knew exactly what they were doing when they did. They wanted to get the spotlight on them. Black women, let's stop being so thirsty, doing all type of things to where we are trying so hard to get attention and we don't care how we get it. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. My last and final opinion on this is that black women, we need to stop being attention starved. Okay, you put yourself out there, and then when you don't get the results you wanted, now you want to flip it. Now you want to play the victim. 9 times out of 10, they did all that twerking, thinking it was going to get them seen and get attention and help them to get attention. It got them seen all right. What they got was embarrassed. And I guarantee you that's the only reason why they lashing out and feeling some type of way, because they got embarrassed. They didn't get the results they wanted. I don't know if they thought twerking, somebody was going to throw some ones on them like they was in Magic City. Whatever they was expecting, it didn't turn out like they thought, and they got embarrassed. So now they in their feelings, because unlike some of these thirsty ass dudes out here, the owner wasn't thirsty. He didn't find it cute. He was not impressed by it. He was embarrassed, and he put their asses right in their goddamn place. Okay, leave that in the projects. All right. So anyway, y'all, this is your girl, your diva and knowledge lady Mocha. Remember, I'm gonna always put you. I'm going to always make you off a slice of knowledge. Take care, and I'll be hollering at y'all soon. Bye.